What's up again, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in to my YouTube channel once more. The loyalty and support is always appreciated and taken in kind. For those of you who are new here, please do subscribe and do also follow me on socials, where, as you can see on screen, I do post a couple of other DIYs that I sometimes may or may not post here, or I'll have like your shorter versions of them. Another thing that I do and love is cook, and I hardly post any cooking videos onto my YouTube channel, but I have at least once a week posts of a dinner or breakfast, lunch, or whatever type of meal tutorial, as well as other things that I do happen to find interest in: decor, styling, and looking at what I buy in my house, what I can get rid of, what I can upcycle, what I can change, and such. So yeah, do please follow, guys. And as per discussion on this week's video, I'm going to be showing you two projects that I did for Instagram DIY challenges, and this was the first of the two challenges that I partook in. So of the brief we got was to create a light piece without using any electronic devices. So it could be battery operated, solar, or anything, but it was not to be from an electronic source. So what I decided to do was then have a hanging type of a lantern that I used a 2-liter bottle spray paint, gold spray paint, and some jute rope to try pull off a look. I did also otherwise finish this off with some paint, black paint for the tassel, which I'm gonna hang it off with, as well as the lid tie that I'm gonna use. With very little to put in money-wise, but I did really quite appreciate the outcome. And there you have the final look of the first project I did as part of our DIY challenge. This is a weekly challenge that actually occurs, so this was the first one I partook in. And next, so with very little time, my jute rope, glue gun, and the 2-liter bottle, I managed to get myself a fancy little art piece that I created. Was a challenge that required us to make a planter using recycled or upcycled materials. I stacked these together using a hot glue gun. This, as it was plastic, didn't give me any problems. They were very weightless, so it wasn't also too heavy to bond or actually had it falling off. The next step I did was spray paint it with the Spraymate matte black spray paint. I did this, of course, outside, tried to get it as dry as I could in as quick of a time as I could. I also tried to avoid the insides of the planters, as that would be where my plants would go, and as I'd be using these plants with my cooking, I would not want to have any spray additives or like non-organic stuff going into my food. So yeah, I did my best there to try avoid that. So next I added some plant potting soil, which I bought from Builders for, I think it goes for 16 Rand for a 2-kilogram bag. And also these little seedlings that I bought from Builders for 30 Rand each of the 6 of the tomato seedlings. Those were 30 Rand. I got parsley for 30 Rand, as well as rosemary for 30 Rand. So I do want and love the idea of growing my own food. I want to start with a small herb garden, which I'll just have on the balcony of my apartment. As you know, apartment living, gardening is really not one of the things that you can really do with ease. So this is one of the options to get as much surface area but using very little space as possible. And these stackable pots can actually stay or keep the balance as long as you prop up or put enough soil or maybe supports such as rock underneath each stackable pot plant. So now the idea here is also to save as much water as possible, as when you do water, you water from the top and it will actually drip down through the holes of the planter onto the next pot, onto the next, meaning that as you go, you only need to water once and one of the planters at the top, and it would efficiently then water the rest of the plant by itself using the force of gravity. So last of all, I put in the rosemary, which when you are actually repotting, try to move the roots around a little bit so that you can actually have them spread and grow properly as you have your plant grow. So that's the final look, and that is it from me today, guys. Thanks so much again for watching. Ciao.